oh, I do Agile, oh, I do Agile UX, oh, I do Lean UX, oh, I do design, oh, I do product design, oh, I do that and that and that. And it doesn't really matter in the end, because it's all about finding the solution, something you can publish quickly, do minimum amount of research, and answer the business and user needs. Hey, welcome back Design Squad, and in this video I'm partially gonna cover this little book, which is just 40 pages about Lean versus Agile versus Design Thinking by Jeff Gothelf. I recommend you to pick it up immediately if you haven't done so. For you as designers, I would like to cover exactly what each of these bits mean. And it's going to be partially inspired by the book, but I'm going to give you my personal perspective, my personal experience, what I learned throughout the years. Let's go through what Lean is, what Agile is, what design thinking is. Well, Agile started with Agile Manifesto in the 90s. All the waterfall development cycles, which took up to, let's say, a year, 2 years to develop some sort of feature set, some sort of product, was just way too fat, because in the end, businesses find out that, let's say, that doesn't stick with the users. Whatever you discovered last year, if it's not progressively tested, iterated, launched, it might be that it's not gonna get traction and there's not gonna be market fit for your product. And so people decided to, hey, why don't we just roll out features, every week, every 2 weeks, start to do it in sprints. However, one caveat here is that Agile is such an engineering focused bit that every other stream, like let's say product leadership and design, have to almost become like a support for it, which is not ideal either. If we would jump to the Lean, which is more of a product leadership driven approach, which started with Toyota's, let's say, lean manufacturing principles, they try to trim out the fat from every single factory worker's time, where we checked that, hey, this specific task takes 10 seconds. Can we make it 9 seconds? And if we automate it, can we make it 8 seconds? And so we try to trim down the fat that way and iterate in small incremental changes to find out what exactly sticks, so that you become like a well-oiled machine throughout the years. And Lean right now is heavily transformed into Lean Startup when it comes to tech world. And Lean Startup is a book by Eric Rice. If you haven't picked it up yet, I really recommend for any product designer, UX designer, especially product managers. It's about the experimentation. It's about putting just enough of eggs in a basket where you can try to experiment with small incremental changes, sort of like a pseudo-agile way, but adding like just a little bit of a design, just a little bit of a development, testing it immediately and seeing if it sticks. If it doesn't have enough of sufficient evidence, you just drop it all together, you move to a next feature or a next idea. However, again, that doesn't allow you for enough user research. That doesn't allow you to full-fledgedly make features as they are. You can only make choppy, very low fidelity, very immediate experiments to test out on end users and stakeholders. And now if we jump to design thinking, it's basically what we do. It originated with IDEO, and IDEO is a big design firm, design consultancy, which basically delivers design as a service. And so we came up with series of workshops, series of activities where consultants and designers can finally contribute to the strategy, can have a seat at the board table. We can have the input in every single strategic bit. That's how, let's say, Netflix, Amazon, Google, all the tech giants understood the value designers brought with their design thinking capability and ability to empathize with the user, because that's the key delivery of design thinking. It's kind of taking what business knows, what technology takes as a limit, what we take for granted, and then seeing how that maps out to the actual user needs, to their pain points, to the opportunities, and any other insight which can take you forward. However, that then creates a big gap before the actual, let's say, Lean Startup or Agile methodologies can take place, where we can actually develop those things. And more often than not, design thinking tends to go so blue sky that it detaches too much from, let's say, how it's delivered, how bits integrate from process excellence perspective, how they actually solve the user problem. Because if you cannot deliver it immediately, if you cannot deliver it in a year, the user problems and needs are gonna change, because our behaviors evolve with every single new touch point and every single new service. However, in this book, I think the best bit is that in the end drops everything. Not to spoil you, you still need to read it. It's a really good read. in the end it kind of gives you a few different principles of what actually sticks. And I'm not going to recite what's in the book, I'm just going to tell you from my personal experience, because what I read is exactly that. It doesn't matter what approach you take as a designer, what approach you drive, what approach your team takes, it's about the value you deliver, because developers are definitely going to do Agile. Designers are definitely going to do design thinking. Product leads, product managers are definitely going to think about how to make it lean. And so for you as a designer, you need to consider that you need to do just enough research. You need to do minimal amount of research, because research tends to be different. Sometimes you run a full study because there are so many unknowns. Sometimes you run just a key hypothesis to validate because you know everything. Maybe you know the bulk, maybe there's some sort of quantitative research, and now you just want to find out why. You engage with a few users, which would be enough for your specific problem to take it forward. And the most important principle is that you need to work as a team. You know, it doesn't matter, like I follow so many different product leads, project managers, techies who have, you know, a combined experience of, let's say, 100 years of Agile, lean, and design thinking and UX. All of them say that you need to start as a team. It doesn't matter if you run lean, it doesn't matter if you run Agile, you need to involve people immediately. You need to start in the same room, all of you, with different responsibilities. It could be that engineering is going to start just in a month. Still, as a designer, you need to involve them in and go together from get-go. Maybe they can prepare environment while you do your research and design thinking capabilities. Maybe one of your techies, let's say data scientist or engineer, or just, you know, in general tech capability lead, is gonna be a key person for you to define what's feasible with those solutions you do in design thinking, so you don't detach yourself too much from the reality and you can move on as a team and avoid isolation. So it's not just engineering team, it's not just product team, it's not just design team, it's one team, it's one squad working on one issue at a time and validating that with the users and using their methods as seem fit, but not steering away from that they're one team. If you agree with me, if you disagree with me, leave a comment down below. If you like this video, give a like, subscribe to this channel if you haven't done so. And on this note, I'll see you next time.